Alright guys, so here we are getting ready to start a septic system, and this one was in Chester. It's at a group home, so there's quite a bit of water usage here. And the system is currently failing, and basically what it was an old tank, two old dry wells, and they had been added onto in the 1990s with about 25 feet of 4x4 galleys. And that green spot in the yard there, that was actually the tank. It's backing up and coming out of there, and that dirt spot there is where I had done a test hole to confirm the soil type. And we're going to get ready to put in 108 feet of galleys, and we're also going to put in 2,000-gallon septic tanks. Rather than one 2,000-gallon, we're doing 2,000 gallons, and that way we get 4 compartments. Figured it was better for settling and would be better for the leaching field in the long run. So here's the tank hole that we had. It's going to go into the first tank, and then the next tank is just a few inches deeper, so the outlet pitches to the inlet of the second tank. And here they are setting the tanks. And we also had the old tank and old leaching field pumped out, because part of the old leaching field, the 2 dry wells, we abandoned later. And here's the 2 tanks are now in. And we're going to go into this first one, and then the outlet comes this way, and we'll go into the side of the second tank and then out towards the leaching field. And once they were in, we backfilled them, and we compact them in lifts with the ram, as you can see here. And then what we did is we located the dry wells, and we pulled the tops of them completely off. They pumped out as much as they could, and they're basically going to be abandoned in place like this. Once we uncovered them, what we ended up doing was dumping some 3-inch stone in until we got above the water level. And we also located the pipe that exited the second dry well and went into the 4x4 galleys, because we're going to connect into that later. So here we are with the stone. Compacted that, and that will be abandoned in place just like that. And there's the pipe that we'll connect into, and those 4x4 galleys that are about 25 feet long, they'll remain as backups long term for when the new system ever fails many years from now. So here's the hookup from the house to the first tank, then to the second, and then here we are starting the first trench, which is, it was 2 trenches, a 56-foot and a 52-foot row of the 4x8 galleys. And here we are setting in another unit. And here they are, and they basically just get backfilled with 1.25-inch crushed stone. And that is where the first trench is in with all the units, and we start backfilling with the stone. This is the D-box setup, and at this point only the first trench is hooked up. There it is, fully stoned, and then we started putting in the second trench. When you do galleys like this, you have to remove all the material because you displace so much with the units themselves and the stone. And then we reverse bucket with the Hyundai, and we begin placing in the 1.25-inch stone. And then we also, on one of the rows of the galleys, we connected this pipe from the outlet of it as an overflow to the old leaching field as a backup in the future. We put on risers that went all the way to grade as per the customer request. And here's the D-box, and we show here a high level overflow, and this is how it works. As the water begins flowing in, we put the high level overflow in the trench that we want to work second, and the first trench begins doing all the work. It overflows eventually into the second trench. We regraded, put the topsoil back down, we seeded, and shortly after this we put our hay down. Thanks for watching, guys.